How you doing? Welcome back to the Philippines, my friends. Today we are going to talk about the differences between moving to Tijuana or Manila. I again have been contacted by a news agency talking about my story. Um, Moving out of the country is no longer for the rich and the retired. It is for you. With rising inflation, rising cost of living, rising rents, more and more people are looking at moving to Tijuana, and I want to talk about the differences between my experience with living in Tijuana and my experience now existing here in the Philippines. Why do I not say moving? Because maybe I haven't found my exact spot. Maybe I have. I've been on the move here for about 7 months traveling. My adventure started uh, from El Paso, Texas. And when the rent started going up, I asked myself, wow, shall I live in El Paso over here for thousand something a month, or shall I move to Tijuana over here for $300, $400, $500 a month? And it became quite clear that, well, Mexico was a better option. So the cost in Mexico was a little high for my taste, so I hightailed it over to the Philippines. I have been to the Philippines before, and I knew it was cheap. Actually, I'm quite certain the Philippines is probably one of the cheapest places on earth to exist. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, Scotty Bear, you're probably well funded and all that. And I say, hogwash. I have a little money set aside in case problems come up. However, I am definitely not immune to going broke or having struggles, and frankly I would rather struggle here than in the United States and be on the streets, living in my car, living in a van. All of that sounds a lot less attractive than existing here. It's, it's like what I said at the beginning of the video. This is no longer just for retired people. This is no longer for rich people. The United States is pricing out a good amount of people from the rental market, maybe even people that make some money. And then, of course, working remotely is becoming more of a thing. And from a cell phone, from a laptop, I contend most people could make some sort of living to exist here in the Philippines. My reasoning behind saying something like that is because the minimum wage here in the Philippines is $8 a day. That's right. I think most people watching this video could manage to make $8 a day and have a decent life living somewhere else in the world. And not just the Philippines or Tijuana. I believe opportunities exist in many, many places. In this video, again, I'm going to talk more about my experience in Tijuana. Tijuana is a very popular and hot destination as people from Southern California, of course, are looking for a solution, right? I mean, the alternative is not wonderful. Where do you move to, right? You got Las Vegas, pretty much a dumpster, and 100+ degrees, dry heat, and you have Phoenix, a drier heat, which is not uncommon to be over 100 degrees on Christmas. That's right. Not that attractive if you live in the wonderful Southern California weather. Maybe you feel like you're trying to hold on to that job that maybe you've been on for quite a while, and you're just looking for something to, uh, you know, be able to hold down that existence. Tijuana, very attractive place actually. Weather, just like San Diego, just about 12, 16 miles south of San Diego. There is a small chance that you could get your head chopped off. I say that is pretty small. There is a drug war on the streets, and you may get extorted from a taxi driver. Other than that, I feel like Tijuana is pretty good. And the thing is most people really feel like they can live in Tijuana, mostly because of the, many, Latinos in Southern California area. And so it doesn't seem that foreign to most people. So I think people really go on that alone. Tijuana itself, my experience there has been better than you probably expect. I think every person that moves there gets a bit of a different experience. It is nice to just hang out on the beach and have that lifestyle that's tranquilo, and I don't think most people kind of understand the lifestyle over there is pretty slow. I mean, it is California, a hustle and bustling place, and Tijuana is less than that. But many people go ahead and move south, and for a short period, I mean, many people I talk to and know that are interested in moving to Tijuana, living in Tijuana, they get excited about it, and then of course move out fairly quickly. Why is that? The main reason most people move out of Tijuana, frankly, is because of the weight to cross. It's a lot, and they have made a lot of improvements. However, the improvements have only been met with more demand, more crossers, more people moving, and this has made the wait time longer and longer and longer. The people that get the most out of the Tijuana experience are the people that really can cross off times. Often in the afternoon is pretty open, so you're going to get more bang for your buck living in Tijuana. The other people that are going to benefit a lot from living in Tijuana are the people that can move further away from the border. The further away from the border, you're going to save more money. That's why, if you watch some of my videos, I stayed more in Ensenada to save a few bucks. And it was a little more on the tranquilo side, that's for sure. So that's mainly why I was staying down there. Now, let's talk about Manila. Manila, very, very similar to Tijuana, honestly. I mean, one, the weather's a little warmer. You should probably know that. Two, you have to front a airline ticket, and there is some cost involved with that. I think a lot of people are intimidated by that. I mean, of course, you're probably familiar with Tijuana, living in the Southern California area. If you live in San Diego, you might even know somebody that lives in Tijuana, and so you're asking them a lot of questions, and you're probably researching that. So in Manila, it is going to be cheaper. Like I said, you're going to have to front some costs. The immigration is similar. Actually, you're going to have to pay for a 6-month visa in Mexico, and you are going to get a free show-up visa, and then have to pay per month close to $50 a month to stay. However, again, the immigration situation is similar. friendly to Americans. Manila in the Philippines is, in general, a lot of people feel intimidated by living in Mexico because they don't speak Spanish or, don't speak the language or whatever. Again, this has not been a problem for me. I'm from Southern California. I speak some Spanish, maybe more than most, probably a lot less than again, most Southern Californians. If you live in San Diego, actually, you probably there's probably more Spanish words spoken than English words, and that was similar to what it was in El Paso, because it was so close to the border. El Paso being just butted up to Juarez, so there was quite a bit of Spanish spoken in general. And Manila, there is English is taught in school. The Filipinos, they may be intimidated to kind of speak English with you, but they do understand English and do speak English. I don't believe I've met anybody that really doesn't understand English. Also, the cost of living, similar to Tijuana. There is a barrier to entry. Many of these high costs that you're seeing in the area and on these Craigslist and in different places are people that cross and inflating these costs. Middlemen like Airbnb and Host are really just shooting from the hip with these costs. None of them are really supported by much. Of course, the only real measure for rental costs, I believe, is if it's ocean facing versus just run of the mill place. But it's become very popular, and they are looking to try to ease the wait time on the border. However, back in 2018, there was a lot of articles out that they were trying to get the border wait times down to under 30 minutes, where, if anything, the border wait time has gotten quite a bit longer from my experience the last time I was there. Many people say, well, it just gets Century Pass, and that is at least a little easier said than done. It's easier done is if you get the Century Pass before you move. I think many people that end up getting the Century Pass get it after they move. So there's that. But Manila is basically working without a net. It all goes wrong in Tijuana, or you go, forget this. You're only a few minutes drive, and boom, you're back in the United States, and Shazamo, whammo, alakazam, whatever you want to say, it is all over. And in Manila, you are a long plane ride, maybe 24 hours, and clearing multiple countries, including Philippines customs, maybe your favorite Asian country, Japan, South Korea, China, and Hong Kong, onto the United States, and then jet lag, and then you are thrusted into high costs, because again, that's mainly the threat. It is very easy for most people to live and exist in other countries, especially Americans. Like I said before, there are people that, working and living in the Philippines making, $8, $10, $15 a day. Why can't you? The quality of life is better. If you watch some of my videos, I seen an ear, nose, and throat specialist for $8. You're gonna get a hearing test. Seen a dentist. I believe that was $14 with X-rays and examination, and so anybody can do this. And like I said, if I go broke, well, I guess the only difference would be location, right? Because you go broke in the United States, the same thing happens to you as if you go broke over here. I still feel like if you go broke over in Mexico or over here, I feel like your fate and the outlook that you have is far greater in Mexico or the Philippines than what it would be in the United States, honestly, um, if you end up like that. But I think that's all I got for you today. 3:30 in the afternoon. I know I abruptly stopped. I found out this new fruit right here, pomelo. It's a orange slash grapefruit, only sweeter, protected by this thick husk of a skin, tougher than a grapefruit. Yeah, I know I hard transitioned. Oh well. 3:30 in the afternoon, May 4th. May the 4th be with you, right? Yeah, that's all I got. Another day, another dollar. Have a wonderful future, May the 4th. It's likely about 1 a.m. where you're at, or 3:30 p.m. if you're on the eastern side of the United States. I'll see you on the next one.